click here. And now I share again our screen. So we were saying that I needed to move this from and I think Spencer didn't have the chance to see this. Let me back up just a little bit. So in the daily lesson plan, Spencer, find this link, preterite and imperfect describing a situation. Click on that link and it's going to open to the page preterite and imperfect describing a situation. Scroll down and pick this paragraph that is highlighted here. Oops, never mind, that's not what I wanted. So the highlighted paragraph, and copy paste on your own page. You have this same page but without that paragraph. So I need you to copy and paste to your own page and show me your thumb in your what's it called? Emoticon. It's not emoticon, but it's reaction, I think. Your thumb up. All right, thank you, Spencer. So this one says this. We're going to write here the 3 instances in which we talked about the last class. The Gramactiva video showed 3 examples, concrete examples, in which we use imperfect when we're talking about the past tense. Who remembers 1? So it's 3 specific things. The chat here. Weather, thank you, Spencer. And I'm gonna be specific like this. When, so you're typing this on your own thing, okay? So take the notes there, please. When we talk about weather in the past. So specifically, what the weather was like in the past, and you'll see why I am making that distinction. Number 2, who can think of the second? One is weather. What's another situation in which we talk about, we use the imperfect in the past? Anybody remembers that video, Gramactiva? If you saw the recording? So it's weather, time. So when we are talking about what time or /day /month / etc. about time was in the past. When we're talking about what time was in the past. So what was the time? What was the month? All right, questions or comments so far? Who remembers the third one? We had time, we had weather, we had one more. Who remembers the third one? Nobody remembers the third one? No? I bet you didn't watch the video. Did you watch the video? Guys, are you there? I can't hear anybody. Yoo-hoo. Can you hear me, guys?
Is it maybe like an event?
What is emotion? Shuban says that he hears me. Tommy, a one-time event is the preterite.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, but you are on the right track. So when it's one-time thing, not repeated, that's a preterite. And here Spencer is saying that emotion. Yes, it was emotion. When we are talking about emotions, feelings in the past. So if you look at it carefully, you have emotions. What was the emotion? What was the whether, what was the time. It really, they have in common that they're describing what was going on in the past. Are you with me there? So the imperfect describes what was going on in the past. So let me zoom a little bit here. And I am going to have, oh, I hate that it does that. Anyways, okay. So in addition, let's have Leila. Are you there, Leila? Can you read where the arrow is? In addition.
In addition to saying what someone used to do, the imperfect tense.
So what someone used to do. This is describing what was going on. So we have 3 variables that we need to consider if we are going to use the imperfect or not in the past. Shubhan, can you read number 1? I put number 1 there to describe.
Yeah. So number 1 basically says that the imperfect tense is used to describe people, places, and situations in the past.
Yes, this is a common denominator of when you use the past, describing what was happening. In this case, they're referring concretely to people, places, situations in the past. So, Invi, can you read what I'm highlighting, the example in Spanish, please?
La casa de mis abuelos era
Enorme. Ajá,
enorme. Tiene 5 dormitorios.
Dormitorios. Era enorme, tenía 5 dormitorios. So I am going to circle the 2 verbs that you see in that sentence. Paul, can you tell me if those verbs are in the preterite or in the imperfect?
Wait.
You broke a little bit. Did you say the first word what you said was?
Is it imperfect?
Imperfect. Yes, the imperfect. Serena, can you translate the sentence?
Like in the house, like isn't La Casa house? So in the house.
La casa is the house of my.
The house of my. Is it grandparents?
Grandparents. Good job.
Is big.
Right. Is this the past or the present? Is the present.
Oh, so it was big.
Was big, and what else?
What's tenía?
Tenía comes from tener.
So have, is it to have?
To have, but is this the past?
Yeah. So I don't know how to say have.
Had.
Had 5 rooms.
5 rooms, correct. So what is the sentence doing, Tommy? We have a house, and what is the sentence saying about the house?
It's saying that it was really big and it had 5 rooms.
Correct. So describing the house, right?
Yes.
So here is, thank you, Tommy. Thank you, everybody who is reading. Here is the perfect example of something that is described in the past. What does it look? What did it look like? How many rooms, etc. Description of things, people, places in the past. Any comments so far? All right. Number 2, I'm going to ask. Hold on here. Okay, so Shubhan, can you read number 2? You already read number 1, so please read number 2 for me.
So number 2 is the imperfect tense is used to talk about a past action or situation when no beginning or end is specified.
Yes, no beginning and no end. In other words, we don't know a time frame when this happened. It's just something that happened in the past. So again, description of a situation in which we don't know the time frame. We don't know when it started. We don't know even if it ended. It could be that the thing still be happening. So I'm going to ask Tommy, can you please read the sentence in the highlight, the second one, the second example.
Había mucha gente en la casa para el aniversario.
Gracias. So I'm going to circle the verb. Here we have the verb. And this one is a verb that we always forget for some reason. This is the verb haber. And we know it in the present tense. We use it very often, but it is a verb that only conjugates one way. Who remembers what this verb is in the present? Haber. What's the verb in the present tense? Anybody? Think about it. Think about it. Haber. Really common to forget. Really common to get
As.
confused. Say again.
As.
As.
Like,
Has.
I don't know. As.
Has, you said?
Yeah.
So it is not to have. Everybody confuses this with to have. Maybe it's because the spelling is kind of the same or very similar. Haber means there is, there are. Is the one that we say, hay 5 estudiantes. Hay una profesora. Now you remember? There is, there are? Sí or no? You can say no. I from haber. So the imperfect of there is, there are is in English. What's the past time of there is, there are in English?
There was.
There was. Thank you, Tommy. There was. So the imperfect of this verb means there was. This means a lot of people. Spencer, can you translate this? Typing on your chat. Había mucha gente en la casa para el aniversario. Oh, haber. Okay. So haber. There is, there are. And in the past, we say there was. Okay, no worries. There was a lot of people in what, Paul? There was a lot of people
In the house
in the house.
for the anniversary.
Correct. Where the anniversary was going on, was happening. See, there was a lot of people in the house when the anniversary celebration was happening. So talk about a past action or situation. We don't know when. It says there was. We don't know exactly when. We know that it was in the past. That would be imperfect. Okay, comments, questions so far? I do need you to ask me questions because, like I said, it gets tricky. Okay, read for me, Tommy, number 3, to describe.
To describe the situation or background information when something else happened or interrupted the ongoing action.
Yes. So again, common denominator, description. Description in the past. In this case, this is one example that I'm going to zoom in because we're going to try and analyze it. So we have 2 verbs, bailaban and llegamos. I'm going to go with imbi. 2 verbs, llegaban and, bailaban and llegamos. Are you there, Imbi? Sí, I can see you there. So, Are these two verbs conjugated in the same tense? Bailaban and llegamos.
No.
No, they are not. Good job. Serena, can you identify which one is the imperfect ending?
The bailaban.
Correct. Bailaban is the imperfect. So if you look at it carefully, bailaban is the situation that was going on. They were dancing. Description of what was the situation at that moment. Are you following me? Any questions so far? Now we have llegamos. Who can tell me what is that verb tense? We know that it's not the imperfect because bailaban, aban, and ian is the imperfect. What is llegamos ending? What tense? Shuban, can you think of it? Say that again?
I'm not really sure.
No worries. We are here to learn. How about you, Tommy? Llegamos, what tense is that in?
Oh, it's in the nosotros, right?
It is in the nosotros, so that's the person. But what's the tense?
Is it present tense?
Present tense could be because we have the same ending in the preterite and in the present. But this situation, this sentence, happened in the past. So by context, we know that is not the present tense. What is it, Tommy?
The preterite?
It is the preterite. Okay, so let's go back again a little bit. Which one is the one that is the one-time event? Imperfect or preterite? And this question is for anybody that can tell me. What tense is the one that tells one-time event in the past? How about Serena?
Can you repeat the question?
Yes. What verb, either imperfect, what tense, imperfect or preterite, talks about one-time event in the past?
Oh, imperfect.
That would be, so imperfect is not the one-time event. Imperfect is we're dancing. So what was happening? Not at one time, but like in
So
more than one time or a continuum that didn't stop. It was not one-time thing.
so it'd be preterite.
Preterite is, yes, preterite is the one that tells you one-time thing that happened in the past. And so here you see when we arrived. But what do we have in the middle? This little word that is actually a preposition. It's when, but not the question. This one is when you say, when are you going to hike? Your answer would be, I'm going to hike when the weather is nice. That's when, right? Not the question, but the preposition. So when did we arrive is the question here. When did we arrive? When my relatives were dancing. Yes? So that's how we know that llegamos is we arrived one time to the party. What was happening when we arrived? My relatives were dancing. How are you doing? Is it making sense what I'm saying? Or is it a complete confusion? This is confusion or not? A little bit? Can I know your reaction? Are you confused? It's okay to be confused. What do you think, Tommy?
Yeah, it's kind of confusing, but it's like kind of sticking. I'm kind of.
That's the whole idea. That's why we're here. So tell me, Imbi, what is one confusing part of this sentence that I just showed you?
I think, the question you just asked where you were saying which one was like the one-time thing in the past. I
That's
didn't really
confusing.
know that. So that was a little bit confusing to me.
Right, one time. Okay, so let's continue and we will try to put emphasis in what's the difference between something that happened one time versus something that was happening in the background. Yeah? So for that, I'm going to zoom out and I'm going to show you that we have a tutorial here. We're going to click the tutorial, but I also want you to see that we have here the links to the endings, because I know that we still don't know very much the preterite endings and the imperfect endings. So the link will give you the endings, because we're going to work on an activity below. But let's for now start watching the video tutorial here. And I'm going to share that page.
Spanish uses two past tenses, the preterite for completed actions and the imperfect for actions that were in progress, ongoing, or repeated.
Let's stop just a little bit here. Preterite, completed action. See, so I need everybody to pay attention. Are you paying attention? Preterite is a completed action. In other words, one-time event, something that happened once. Imperfect is something that was ongoing, something that was in progress. Not concrete number of occurrences, a repeated action. So when we say corría, can you see my cursor here? Corría, that's imperfect because this was happening in the past. This person was running and she was listening to music. Something was ongoing in the past.
The preterite, like the English simple past, expresses perfective aspect. The imperfect, like the English phrases was plus ing and used to, expresses imperfective aspect.
Okay, so let me stop just for a bit. The word perfective and imperfective, we don't even know what that means. But what we need to remember, more useful, is preterite is simple past, like ed. I walked, I ran, I ate, I looked. See? So I did it one time. The imperfect is you use it with was and ing or used to. So this is something that was happening or it used to happen. So it's not one time thing. It used to happen more than one time. Continue, ongoing. Does that make a little bit more sense? Okay, hopefully. Was running.
The preterite is used to refer to any past action that is considered complete. In this example, yesterday is complete.
Okay, so here's it started to get super tricky. Didn't we say that the weather in the past uses imperfect? Now this one is the preterite. Why do you think llover is to rain? So this one it says it rained. And it says last night, but now it's sunny.
Background information or set the...
So why do you think this one is in the preterite and not in the imperfect? Pretty confusing, Spencer. I'm sorry to hear that. Tell me what is confusing. Can you type what is specifically the confusing part? Oh, I typed that like 10 minutes ago. I'm sorry. Okay, perfect, Spencer. Sorry. This is what happens in the Zoom call and DLD type of learning, which is kind of frustrating. Okay, no worries. So it rained. It's not saying it was raining. It says it rained, and the key word is that it shows you when this happened. Remember that when we have imperfect, we don't know a time frame. We don't know when it started and when it ended. In this case, they're literally saying that this happened last night. They're giving you that time frame. Last night it started. And then they continue saying, but now, today, it's sunny. So it's already a completed action, right? The rain already ended. It happened and it ended.
The stage 4, other actions. It describes people and tells time in the past.
All right, so take a look. Now we have the same verb, to rain. It's weather. And now it's used in the imperfect. Why? Who can tell me why? And maybe I can translate. So it was raining when, again, the preposition when, I arrived home. It was raining when I arrived home. Who can explain to me why the weather is in the imperfect now?
Is it because of like the preposition?
Right, you have a preposition, and the preposition is telling that something happened one time when the imperfect, so when something was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And what was going on? The rain was going on. It was raining. It's not saying it rained last night. It's saying it was raining when I arrived. How are we doing? Is it making a little bit more sense? Like this? All right, let's continue. Okay, so what's going on here? Estaba cansado y quería comer. First of all, let's see. Indy. Estaba cansado, quería correr. Is that in the imperfect or in the preterite?
Wait, what did you say? Sorry.
So the example, do you see my cursor? Estaba cansado y quería correr. You see my cursor?
Mm-hmm.
So is that in the imperfect or in the preterite?
Oh wait, it's the imperfect, right?
It is the imperfect. Thank you. It is the imperfect. What is it doing? It's describing. Imperfect relates to description in the past. Pretty much all the time, actually. Description in the past. So it's describing that this person was tired and he wanted to eat. He was hungry. See? All right. So I think we can now go ahead and go back to our activity. So new share, I'm gonna go to our activity on OneNote. So I want to give you, how many are you? You know what? I want to do like break rooms. Have you done that before? So I'm gonna stop sharing. No, before stop sharing, I'm gonna put you in groups. But what I want to do is I want you to talk and try to decide. We have these verbs, decidir and llegar, estar and ver, ser, salir, empezar and llegar. Those verbs, you need to decide if you're going to put them in the imperfect or in the preterite based on what we just learned. And for that, you need to understand the blurb. You need to understand that it's a letter, what's going on. So you can talk about it with your group members. You can ask me a question, a word that you don't understand. You can look it up. So do you understand what the task is? Yeah. So now I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to put you in breakout rooms. Have you done this before? Yeah, awesome. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to do 3 groups. And one will have 3 people. All right, so 3 groups. I'm gonna do it automatically, randomly. Okay, so room 1 is Imi, Paul, and Spencer. Group 2 is Leila and Serena. Group 3 is Tommy and Shuban. So when you see the join, click the join button. Paul, click the join button. There you go. Hello, do you understand what we're doing?
I'm confused.
Tell me, what's the question?
So like for the first one, I'm just confused. Like, how do we know if we put it in preterite or imperfect?
Right, so based on what we just talked about, is it describing a situation? Is it something that was going on in the past? Or is it a one-time event, a one-time thing that happened in the past? What do you think?
It's describing
Describing what exactly?
the family.
Is it describing the family? Is it saying my family is happy?
No.
What is it saying about the family?
Isn't it like they speak Spanish? Isn't that,
So do you know the verb decidir?
isn't that to say?
Oh, that's decir. Okay, I know why you are confused now. So decidir is to decide.
Oh, okay.
So they're not describing the family, they're telling something that happened with the family. They made a decision. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
How about Leila? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes. So are you going to put it in the imperfect ongoing or in the one-time thing that happened?
And the ongoing.
So they were deciding all the time?
No.
Yeah.
it's
Oh, no.
time.
No, right? Not all the time. They decided to go to Sevilla. So that's one decision that they made. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
See, Leila?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to put it in the what?
And the one time.
In the one time, which is the preterite. Oh, I forgot to, oh no, I didn't forget. So you have here links to show you the imperfect and the preterite endings in case you forget. Yeah?
So this would be in the preterite.
In the preterite. Preterite is the one time. I'm gonna
So
put it here. One,
it would be des. Is it like deceive, like with an I?
one time. Let me click on the preterite. I'm gonna click on the preterite and we have an IR verb.
Deceive.
And
Isn't it like
IR verb.
DCI?
IR verb. Is that the decidir? No, right?
Des.
So we have an IR verb here. And
So-
we're going to say familia as a one singular noun. So you're going to treat it as ella, la familia. So what's your ending?
Oh. Let's see. Oh, Io.
Right, with that accent. So we have, I'm going to write it here. We have the verb decidir, right? So we have to eliminate the ending and we are left with decide. So when you put,
Decidio.
yes, decidio. Yes,
There's an apostrophe over the I, right?
it's an accent over the O. You see how it's over the O? You see it there?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you can continue on
Yeah.
your yes?
Yeah.
Okay. If you have a question, I think you can type a chat on the chat so I can come back, okay?
Okay.
All right. See you soon. Break up rooms. Now I am going to room 1. Hello. How are you doing? Do you have any questions?
Yeah, which one do we do?
Oh, you're going to do all of it.
Okay.
Yeah, you have all of it. And I'm writing the imperfect is the ongoing situation, the preterite is the one time. And if you forget the endings, you see how there's links there. If you want to do one specific one, with me? Paul, Indy, or Spencer, do you want me to do one with you? Which one do you want me to do with you?
Sure. I don't think it really matters which one.
Okay,
I don't know. I think I'm more just confused on like how you know.
how you know? Okay,
Like,
let's pick one specific one. So Spencer, do you have a choice, or Paul, do you have a choice on what number can we do together?
How about 3? I
Okay,
guess.
number 3. I'm gonna do with you number 3. Give me 1 second. Okay, so number 3 is estar. All right. So we have to decide if we are gonna do estuve or estaba, and it is for ellas. We'll see. So we have nosotros. Let's start here. Nosotros. Oh my goodness, I don't know. Sorry, I made a mistake. I'll be back, okay?
Okay.
I don't know what happened. Suddenly I left without even touching anything. Sorry. Okay, so we're doing estar.
Mhm.
And we're saying nosotros blanc el martes por la noche y las calles ya blanc llenas de personas. So it's really a key here that we understand the meaning of the words. Y las calles ya blanc llenas de personas. What is it saying? What's calles? Anybody? Calles?
Is it streets?
Streets. So the streets already blank. And what's llenas? Full. Yeah? So already blank, full of what?
People.
Of people. Okay, so what we need to think of here, we have the two, imperfect or preterite. The imperfect goes directly to describing something, right? Describing the weather, describing the time, describing what something looked like, yeah? And it also goes with things that were going on. So ongoing things. The preterite is the one that tells you that one thing happened once in the past. And it can be more than one thing, but different things happened in the past. So one-time event. What do you think is this one?
Wouldn't it be the first one?
It's describing, right? It's describing how the streets were full of people. Does that make sense? See, Imbi, Paul, does that make sense?
Mhm.
So las calles, the streets,
Mhm.
already were, because this is to be, already were full of people.
Okay.
See, makes sense?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah means already. Was that your question? I'm not sure if that is your question.
No, I already got it.
Oh, are we done?
Huh? No, I just see how it makes sense.
Okay. So estar, and we are gonna put it in the Imbi said it. In what are we gonna put it, Imbi?
Isn't it the imperfect?
In the imperfect, describing, ongoing. See? So we're gonna take off the ending. We are left with est, and we are gonna conjugate. What is it describing?
How many people are in the street?
Correct. So the streets, what the streets look like, that they're full of people. So it's the streets. It's going to be in the ellos, ellas. What's the ending? We have that stem. What's the ending? Anybody? Okay,
Is it
let's,
Esteban?
estaban, yes, that's the ending. And remember, if we don't remember the endings, we have the link there. Are you watching? Are you looking at the screen? See the link, click on the link, and that will give you the endings. Estar, AR, and it's the streets and the people, so more than one. Estaban. Are you with me? Hope that you're with me. Okay, so we did one together. Is that making a little bit more sense?
Mhm.
So remember, decide if it's one time or if it's something going on that's describing. See?
Yeah.
Yes, Spencer. Sorry, I'm late with your chats today. I'm sorry. Okay, so I will go to see another group and we will meet in the main room in a couple minutes. Work on everything else, yes?
Okay.
All right.
Hello, Tommy and Shuban. How are you doing? Do you have any questions?
What are we doing exactly? Or you just
What are we doing exactly? Okay, so let me zoom in. We have a letter. You're looking at the screen, correct?
Yes.
we're just
Yeah.
seeing your face in our back.
Oh, I'm so sorry. So you're
It is
almost
fine.
like scared here, only seeing my face. Sorry, I'm scaring you with my face. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so let me share. Thank you for letting me know. So we have this letter, right? And we have some blanks. And in the blanks, the highlighted words are the ones that you need to fill in it with, and they're verbs. So you need to decide if you're going to use the preterite or the imperfect, and you conjugate. Now, let's remind what's the preterite. It's the one time in the past. And then the imperfect is the ongoing or the description. Description.
Oh, okay.
Yeah?
Sounds good.
If you don't remember the endings, there's a link. Imperfect. AR verbs, endings. ERIR, endings for the imperfect. Let's go back. If you don't remember the preterite endings, preterite link. ER and IR. And also AR. But then the preterite has a lot of irregulars. Remember these irregulars here? Okay. So let's go back. And let's do one together. Give me one option. Choose one that we want to do together.
Number 4.
Okay,
There.
number 4. This is the tricky, one of the tricky parts. When you're filling in the blank, especially when you need to decide what verb tense you want to use, you need to understand really well the sentence. So if there's words that you don't understand, you either ask me or look them up in the dictionary. So you have to understand, not literally every single word, but you need to understand the message that the sentence is conveying. Yeah? So in this case, en la procesión, blank pasos muy grandes con flores y estatuas. And pasos, if you look at number 1 here, means floats. So there's a parade. Procession. A procession, you know what a procession is? A kind of a parade. Some of them goes behind something else and it's like a, right? Following. In this case, they're following flores and statues. So we have the verb ver, and we have to decide, is this talking about describing the procession? Or is this talking about something that is one thing, one event, like one action in the past? En la procesión, blank, floats. So what's ver?
To see, right?
To see. See. So in the procession, saw, seen, whatever it is, floats, very big, that had flowers and statues. And the person that is addressing is the nosotros form. So in other words, in the procession, we saw or we were seeing, you have to decide, floats very big with flowers and statues. What do you think it's going to be? Is it something that we did one time, or is it describing the procession? Think of it really carefully.
It's describing the procession, right?
Describing the procession. So we saw floats with flowers. Yes, it says with flowers, but the verb is describing. What is the verb saying? Something that we did.
You saw the
We-
float.
You saw it to see.
Yes, to see, we saw. So we
So
saw
it
this
would-
procession.
It would be preterite.
It
It's a
would be preterite. Yes, it's ER, not irregular. Remember what is that for the nosotros? Do you need me to go back to the preterite?
Isn't it vimos?
Vimos, yes, Tommy, good job. Vimos. Making sense? You want to do one more with me?
Sure.
Shuban, pick another number.
Probably ocho.
8. Ok, so todas las personas en la calle escucharon con atención mientras ella cantaba. Por fin, that means finally, at last, el paso, so the procession, blank to arrive, a la entrada de la catedral. Y entró, so they came in. So the verb is to arrive, and you have to decide if this was something going on, ongoing, or an action or an event that someone did.
You have to use the preterite, right?
Yes, because
Because it's like an ongoing event, right?
ongoing is imperfect.
Oh, sorry, not. What was the other one?
One time,
Yeah, one time, yeah.
here, one time. What did we do one time? It's not we, it's actually el paso, so this procession. They arrived. And it's going to be for the el ella. So what is the preterite for el ella? We have llegar, so we drop the AR. And we are left with lleg.
Llegó.
Llegó, yes. Oops, my accent here. Llegó. Oh, doesn't let me.
Would it have an accent over the O or no?
Yes, it does have an accent over the O. Tommy, you're remembering. I'm so proud of you. Shuban, I'm proud of you too, because you work really hard and you know everything. All right, so you can continue on your own?
Yeah.
Okay. I
Thank
will
you.
see you. You're welcome. I will see you back in the main room in a couple minutes.
Okay.
5 minutes maybe.
That's good. Thank you.
Uh-huh. Give me 1 second to go. No, I don't find my, okay. All right. See you soon.
So
All right, welcome back. Says 30 seconds. Were you able to finish? If not, it's okay. Were you able to finish? Yes? Great.
Yes, I did.
Okay. 9 seconds. Can you see the windows of the break rooms or no? Can you see it? Okay. All right. Welcome back, you guys. Welcome back, everybody. Let's share screens and see what are the answers. And if you didn't finish, that's okay. All right. So I am going to ask, Tommy, can you tell me number one?
Sure.
Oh, I'm going to read it. Acabo de pasar unos días increíbles. Mi familia española blanc ir a Sevilla. What did you get?
Shuban and I, we said decidio.
Bien, decidió. It's conjugated into familia, which is considered as a singular noun. And why did you use the preterite?
Because it's a one-time thing.
It is a one-time thing. The family decided one-time thing, one time. They didn't decide an ongoing decision, right? Good. So, celebrar la Semana Santa. Nosotros blanc el martes por la noche. Serena, what did you guys get? Number two. Nosotros blanc el martes.
I'm not sure if it's correct, but I said llegamos.
Llegamos is correct. So why did you use the preterite?
Because it's like, I said it was a one-time thing.
It is a one-time thing. We arrived one time, right? Our arriving was not ongoing. It was we arrived at that time, right?
Yeah.
And actually saying when, so there's a time frame. We know when it started, and that becomes preterite immediately. Okay, and then number three, I am going to go with Shuban and Spencer. I'm going to give you number 4 if you want to type it. Yeah. So Shuban.
All right, so 3, me and Tommy wrote Estaban.
Estaban. Yes. We discussed this, right? Did we discuss this one? I think it was.
We did number cuatro.
Ah, okay, perfecto. You got it really nicely. Why did you use, in this case, the imperfect? What do you think you can say as a reason?
Just talking about like not one. It's not like a one-time thing.
It's
That's
not
all.
a one-time thing. It's describing,
Yep.
right? Describing
Mhm.
how the streets were. What did they look like? In this case, they were full of people. Description
Right.
in the past. Nice. And Spencer, number 4. Let me see. Veía. Okay, so you think that it's describing. So this one is tricky. Number 4 is tricky because we need to understand what it says. En la procesión, oops, it has an eraser instead of the pen. En la procesión, in the procession, so this is a, I forgot the word. Desfile. Parade. This is a parade, a procession. So in the procession, blank pasos, and pasos means float. So it's to see floats, yeah? In the procession, to see floats, very big with flowers and statues. So Spencer, maybe you thought, and maybe someone else, that they're describing the procession because it says very big flowers and statues. But actually, the verb is describing an action to see that we did. So it's in other words, in the procession, we saw floats with this and this and that. So if it's we saw an action that we did, what do you think, Spencer? One-time action. Yes, it is vimos. Vimos. We saw. Tell me if you guys are with me or if there's something confusing. Are you with me? Yeah. Número 5. Las imágenes blank, antiguas y muy impresionantes. The images blank, very impressive and very antique. And we have the verb to be. So Paul, what do you think?
I did not get that one. I didn't finish that.
Let's try and do it together, please. So the images to be, I'm not going to conjugate, so we try to decide. The images to be antique and impressive. Antique and impressive. And it's the images. Think
So
if
would
this
it
is,
be,
yeah, go ahead.
would it be preterite?
Why do you think it's spreaded? Is it one-time thing?
Or no, it's ongoing, isn't
It
it?
is ongoing. It's describing. And it actually is describing the images. It's saying the images were antique and impressive. Do you see it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what do you think the conjugation is? For ser, it's an irregular and imperfect.
Would it be? It's not. Wait, it's.
Let me go ahead and click on the imperfect link. And it's not going to be one regular. It's part of the irregulars.
Oh, it is error. Okay, it is error.
Yes. And so it's eran and talking about the images, so it's in plural. Eran. Good job. Thank you. Imperfect. Okay. Número 6. Hold on. I'm going to do this a little bit wider, so we can actually see the paragraph better. Okay. So número 6, I'm going to give it to Invi. Número 6, una mujer blanca a un balcón. Before saying the verb, can you tell me what is, or the main idea, what is the saying?
Una mujer, isn't that like a person or something?
A person, a woman.
Salir a un balcón.
Balcón, so balcony, right? Yep. And then
So
salir is
basically
an action.
balcony and
Let's just focus on balcón, just this. So a woman blank to a balcony. So the action, salir, is describing an event that she did or an action that she did. Means to leave or to exit or to go out.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be the woman left or she went out on a balcony. Tell me if it's describing the situation or if it's saying one-time action that she did.
I feel like it's describing the situation.
Describing the situation. So is it describing the balcony? Is it describing the woman? Is it describing how she went out? How she...
I mean, I feel like it could kind of be both, because is it not like describing what she did, like describing her action?
Right, but here's really not describing, because if it was describing, it would say, how was the action performed? What would it look like? That's the description, right? We don't have an adjective of how it was, or what did it look like, that action. It's actually saying, she did this. It doesn't describe the action, it's stating the action in the past. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So if it's saying what she did, not how she did it, what she did in the past, is that going to be describing, or is that going to be one-time thing that she did?
It would be a one-time thing.
A one-time thing. So she left, or she exited, or she went out to the balcony. So we have salir, and we are going to do it in the preterite, one time. She did this one time. So what's the preterite?
Salió.
Bien. Good job. Salió. Preterite. All right. Number 7 for Leila. What do you think? Can you talk a little bit louder? Shuban, what do you think? A woman went out on a balcony and started to sing.
I wrote a penzo.
Bien.
One.
Empezó. She, again, saying what she did. It's saying what she did. She started to sing. Not describing how she started. It's stating how what she did. It's stating that she started. And then the last one, por fin, so suddenly or at last, this procession did something. They came into the entrance of the cathedral. What do you think Tommy is going to be? Number 8, what do you have? The procession arrived to the entrance of the cathedral. So we have the procession arrived to the entrance of the cathedral. What do you think, Tommy?
All right, what did you say?
Give me number 8.
Number 8. Sure. Is it Lego?
Yes. Why did you use the preterite?
Because it was describing like the one-time event when they.
The one time when they arrived. Yes, sir. Correct. Okay, chicos. Is it too confusing still, or is it a little bit better?
It's better.
It is better. All right. So I want you to go to your tarea tab, because see how you have due Monday, this tarea, this homework. So everybody click on your tarea tab and click on the charts using verbs. So here's what we're doing. We are conjugating the verbs that we have on this chapter. So we need to define it. And for that, I gave you the link for the vocab. And then you're going to conjugate it in the present, in the preterite, and in the imperfect. What if you forget? The endings are in this link separately. So you have presente there. We have coleccionar. So we need to look at the ending for colección. Colecciono, coleccionas, colecciona. Oops, tarea, sorry. So let me do the first one. Colecciono. And I'm going to give Paul the preterite of coleccionar in the yo form. And then I'm going to give Serena the imperfect of coleccionar in the yo form. Paul, preterite, yo form, coleccionar. Are you there, Paul? I think Paul left. Maybe his connection failed. Okay, so the preterite is going to be for Spencer. Yo form, preterite. And Serena, did you get the yo form for the imperfecto on coleccionar?
Would it be coleccionaba?
Yes, coleccionaba. Spencer, pretérito, yo form, coleccionar. Coleccioné, good job. 1L, okay? I love that you have the accent there. Coleccioné. All right. So you know what we need to do? Oh, and then don't forget to write the meaning. Don't forget to write the meaning, to collect in this case. Okay? Is the homework making sense? All right. I'm going to assume that silence means that it makes sense. All right, everybody. So I'm going to stop sharing and then we're going to go back to just the main room here. And do you have any questions? So talking about final, we don't have a final. We are going to have a project that I'm still thinking about, and it's going to be on the very last week, the finals week. It might be something oral. It might be something on a Zoom call. So I'm just figuring out how we're going to do it. Okay. Anything else? No. So we have the quiz on Monday and the homework on Monday. Yes, Shuban.
So the quiz that we're supposed to take today is on Monday?
I moved it on Monday because I didn't remember of the schedule change. So I don't have all my periods this Friday. I only have 1 through 4. So I moved it to Monday. And for you, you guys are, yeah, it's on Monday. Yes?
Okay, and then, yep. And then for the final, is it basically like a oral exam?
I'm going to have a part of an oral, yes. It's a project. Think of it as a project, not an exam. It's going to be a project, and I'm thinking about it. What? Okay?
That's good. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you for being here, you guys. I hope that this
Thank
helped.
you, Senor Beth.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tommy. Keep it up. Keep it up. You can do it.
I need to pull up the quiz. Hang on.
Yeah. Oh, but was it a quiz or a test? You were talking
Oh
about
no,
a
I mean
typo
it was on the test. The chapter 303.
Okay, I'm gonna open it and I'm gonna share my screen with you so you can see it and you can tell
Okay.
me where is that typo. And also tell me what was confusing on that section. I didn't know that it was confusing, and nobody said it was confusing. So, like I said, I'm opening that, but I have to log in. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen with you. This one. Okay, so I'm gonna go to forms. And so 3A, 3B. And your period is 2.
2.
Period 2, here it is. Are you seeing my screen?
Yeah, I'm interested to find on here too.
Okay, so I'm gonna open my view here on your test. me go to your name.
Okay, it's problem 30.
Okay, problem 30. That's your test. You see your name up there?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. All right. So 30. Let's go to 30 right away. So what was the mistake? Ah, the whole section?
It says CEER.
Oh my goodness, you are totally right about that. I'm gonna give you that, well, I can't give it to you either because, so what was this? You see the answer?
Mm-hmm.
Because what tense is this? So
Hmm?
this is asking present progressive.
Present progressive.
And the present progressive has estar in
Estar.
all of them. So that's why I put estar in all of them. So you needed to
Okay.
put the verb estar conjugated into the person, and then the second verb, this verb here, would be in the yendo ando. So even if it was with an R,
Okay, that's the part I was kind of confused on. Like, okay, why is there two? Huh?
yeah, go ahead.
For some reason, I thought that I didn't know that it was supposed to be like for both, but I should have known. I
Right,
thought
because
there was
present
two words
progressive
and there was
has,
a blank, and there was a blank. That's what I took it as.
oh, there was only one blank, but we learned that the present progressive is conjugated all the
Yes,
time
which has the
with the
star.
two
Yep.
verbs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so why don't you do the following? Now that we're here, what you can see the options. So I'm going to stop sharing
All right.
and I'm going to look at the test. And you have your own test open also?
Yep.
Okay. So why don't you say the options? So, and I'm gonna write down. If you say them correctly, I am going to give you half of the whole credit of that section. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Okay, so what's the first one? Read the whole sentence.
Or let me go to it.
21.
21. All right. So it's Juan blank una carta a su abuela.
Present progressive.
Mm-hmm. So would it be Juan está escribiendo una
Yes,
carta?
that's correct. Number 22.
Nosotros el libro en español. So would that be nosotros estamos?
Bien.
And then is it leyendo?
Leyendo. Bien.
All right.
23. You got it. 23.
All right. Que blank tus amigos. So it would be que es amigos. So están
Bien.
haciendo.
Yes. Excelente. 24. 24.
All right. El señor blank la comida and es servir.
Mm-hmm.
So señor. So están sirviendo.
Bien. Está sirviendo. Yes. 25.
All right. Ustedes blank temprano todos los días.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be están
Yeah.
durmiendo.
Bien. 26.
All right. Yo blank con tarjeta de crédito.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be estoy
Yes.
pagando.
Bien. 27.
All right. Mis amigos blank las palabras en español. So mis amigos be están.
Uh-huh.
Will you repitiendo?
Repitiendo. Good job. 28.
Alright. El abuelo blank el periódico.
Mm-hmm.
So would it be está leyendo?
Yes.
Why, right?
Correct. Correct. 29.
All right. Mi mamá le blank al abuelo que no debe comer mucho.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be mi mamá. So it would be está and
Bien.
then diciendo.
Yes, you got it. And number 30?
yo blank en lo que el periódico. That'll be yo estoy creyendo.
Bien, yo estoy creyendo. So you would have gotten the whole credit there. So
Uh-huh.
that would have been 10. So I'm going to give you 5 more. And I'm going to, so that would be 21 out of 25, out of 35. Oh, I need to,
All right.
I can't do it right from here. So 21 out of 35 for Paul. I'm going to fix that after my next Zoom call that happens in 3 more minutes.
Oh, okay.
Okay? All
All
right.
right.
I'm glad that we could fix it. We don't have extra credit, but
Okay.
you can do it.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay?
All right.
Bye.
See ya.
See ya.